up, everybody? Wolf from Walmart. We're back. We're back, baby, again.
Not a bad fish right there, guys. Oh, no. Out here catching Folsom bass right now, dude. Woo, he's a little chunker.
What up? Season 3, episode 4. Dude, we made it to 4 episodes this season. I am patting myself on the back, because we all know that my schedule gets crazy and life gets nuts. So I'm so glad that you guys get to come back and hear a 4th episode. And I'm super excited about this episode. Before we get into this guest, there's no real house cleaning. Everything's been going along. We are still on the way to the next Kayak Adventure series. I am hanging out in my garage in the early morning like we always do about this time. I got my Element right here next to me, kind of keeping me kicking me into life, along with my good coffee, because everybody needs coffee. If there's anybody out there that has coffee that is willing to sponsor a show, I would love to have some coffee in the morning and shout you out. I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting it out to the universe because I like coffee. Anyways, I also like these guys right here.
What up, dudes and dudettes? I'm sure you're tired of hearing my voice by now, but you're going to hear it for a little bit longer because this is a shout out to the sponsor of this show, Kayak City. Kayak City has been taking care of me ever since I started getting into a boat and paddling around in the water trying to catch some fish. And when I tell you it is Kayak City, it is literally like a city of kayaks. They have Bonafide, Eddy Line, Feel Free, Hobie, Jackson, Native, New Canoe, Old Town, Wilderness Systems, and so many used kayaks. I stopped trying to count them a long time ago. If you guys are looking for accessories, they have walls and walls and walls of accessories. They have one wall dedicated specifically to Yak Attack, and it is a massive wall. Kayak City is your #1 Yak Attack dealer here in Northern California. If you want to know where it is, stop by at 7812 Auburn Boulevard, Citrus Heights, CA. Roll through, say what up to James, Troy, Eric, Scott. Tell them Dave says what's up and tell them I sent you there. Thanks for listening.
Also, one more good shout out. I haven't even done it this season, and I feel guilty that I've gone this far without shouting these dudes out. Shout out to Sir Bradley Hicks. Congratulations. And shout out to Sir Matthew Souders. I love you both very much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to go ahead and do this and meet some awesome people like this guy right here. Without further ado, I bring to you Sir Jake Harshman.
What's up? Oh, buddy. How are you?
No one knew who I was before you had the bell.
It's a secret.
Hey, bud, how are you?
Yeah, man, I'm okay. Just getting off work, working a little night shift, and then I get to see your beautiful face first thing in the morning when I get home.
I know, dude. I even trimmed for you,
I like it. I did nothing. The only thing I did was put on some pants.
Well, dude, when you said, hey, let me just change clothes real quick, I half expected you to hop on naked or something. I was like,
yeah, well, I don't know if this podcast is monetized or not, but I don't want to endanger that. So
no, dude, it's anything but monetized. Trust me. I don't think I could ever get it monetized after some of the things that I've said on this show multiple times. So,
and there's no bottom, right, to the podcast that I've been on, because I've been on the dark waters. So have you heard the dark waters?
I've never even
I love Josh. Shout out to Josh.
Dude, I've never even heard that show. Does that make sense? When I got into fishing podcasting, I didn't even get down to the depths till later, and I'd never even heard of it before until I've heard of people mention it and talk about it, but I've never.
It was a wild place. I hope that none of my sponsors ever listen to those episodes. They might take away my shit.
Well, either way, dude, man. So, what's life been like for you lately? How's everything been going? Man, you got a lot going on now.
Yeah, it's been good, dude. So, I kind of, to some people don't feel good about this, but I've gotten completely out of kayak fishing. It's not that I dislike kayak fishing. I love kayak fishing, but I've opened up the guide business, and it consumes 90% of the time that I have to fish. And the other 10% of the time that I have, I either, try to take my kid, or my kid and I forego fishing altogether and go play golf. So, it's kind of one of those things where I just didn't have time. I just never didn't have time for it anymore. Kayak fishing in itself is a time-consuming process because of the amount of time that it takes to load and launch and get everything ready. And, I can take the boat down to the river and drop it in 3 seconds. And, as long as I remember my drain plugs, I'm good to go. So
Has that happened yet?
Oh yeah, twice. Yeah, for sure. Like it will likely happen again this year. I mean, it happens a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm not a lot. It's happened twice in the 2 years that I've been a boat owner. So once a year, but we're good.
Yep, that's enough for me. If I left the plug out on my kayak, I would die first off, because I would be way too far out there before I'd be able to figure it out. But
so, quick funny story about that. The second time I'd done it, I was meeting one of my good friends who's a longtime guide on the river, and you playing some sad music?
No, I live next to a rail yard, and
I heard something, but
yeah, today they decide they're going to start blowing horns at it. I mean, there must be some homeless people on the track. It's California. Who fucking knows,
no telling.
Yeah.
But so I'm down at the river, and I'm waiting for him to get there, and I put the boat in, and I go out and I troll around. I catch a fish, right? I'm like, oh, cool. Like, it's going to be a good evening. And as I catch the fish, I turn around and I look in the lower deck of my boat, and I'm like, how come there's all this water in here?
Live well.
This isn't good. So of course I go and I open up the back compartment, and the whole inside the boat is basically filled with water. So at this point I limp over to the boat ramp, and I turned on the bilge pump, but there was no, it would have taken a really long time. So I had to put the boat on the trailer, and then I had to let it drain out, and then I had to put the plugs in, and then we went fishing. But yeah, if I wouldn't have caught a fish, who knows?
Yeah, you just all of a sudden
my shit would have been dragging bottom.
Yeah.
So it would have been one big ass aluminum anchor.
Oh yeah. So you take the boat out, not just strictly, but mostly on the Susquehanna. Yeah,
I mean, it's a river boat. It is not made for like lake water. It's not made for a lot of heavy chop. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But it also has K5 on the bottom, so it's made for bouncing off rocks, and that's where that's where I keep it, between the Susquehanna and Juniata River. That's where it's at. So.
Okay. All right. Hell yeah. So you're out of kayak fishing completely. You no longer you sold the Osprey. It's it's done and gone, or is it just like packaged at the time?
I did sell it. And I sold it because I know if I want to get another one, one of my best friends in this industry is Trey Leach,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my biggest mentors is Jeff Little. And those are the designers and owner of that, business, who makes that kayak. So if I ever wanted to get another one, I'm not going to have an issue. I just couldn't see putting a kayak like that in storage for who knows how long, when I could be giving it to somebody who could be out there using it. And honestly, by them using it, they're promoting Trey's brand, and they're putting the eyes, people were seeing that boat.
Yeah.
So it just made sense to, get it out in somebody else's hands and let them do what they do with it.
Yeah.
So
Jeff came out here, and I got to see it firsthand. I love, like, I have to, I'm like a blind guy, especially with my wife. I see with my hands. No, but like he brought his Osprey out here when he came to California. He did that whole long trip for like Boondocks and stuff when he was working for them. And I got to actually see it and like kind of lift it. Dude, that thing is light, bro. I mean, it's heavy duty too, but
it's light in terms of kayaks, because it's like 85 pounds without everything on it.
Yeah.
But in terms of inflatables, it's not light. But the trade-off with that, a lot of inflatables are not using the thickness of the material that Trey uses on his.
Yes.
And the reason Trey uses that on his is because for a year and a half of R&D, me, Jeff, well, primarily Jeff and Trey, but I was also involved in it. We beat the dog shit out of that kayak.
Oh yeah.
Various different versions of that kayak. We absolutely beat the dog shit out of it. And, there were some areas where on the prototypes, like, okay, so the underside needs to have a double layer. The sides need to have double layers because surprisingly enough, most people wouldn't believe this, but it's true. The way that most inflatables get holes in them is from fish fins.
Yes.
So as you're landing a fish and you're crashing that fish, because that's what we do in kayaks, we don't really care if the fish touches the boat. We just rip it and then we're like doing this net shit right. You're like, oh God, we're trying to get it in the boat. Or we don't even grab a net and we just kind of like
flip them in
the side,
Yeah.
That's how those kayaks get holes in them. So Trey intelligently put double layers of material on all those high stress points where you're going to either land fish or where you're going to be running over rocks or so on and so forth. So it makes total sense of why he did it the way he did it. That kayak has a lot of cool features in it, man. It's a lot of cool features that you just don't see by looking at you do an overhead look at it and you don't really truly see the cool features of that boat that it has.
Dude, yeah, and like the secondary inflatable for the center or whatever, and then the track system that you can like mount. Like, dude, I like literally went online and like just played Imagine, and it was like trying to like, how I do like stupid photos for like Alex and Paul and stuff. Like, I was literally cropping photos of gear that I have and like trying to put it on there. And I'm like, because this fit and this, and like, oh, dude, those things are bad. Those things are super bad.
The cool thing, like, so it's a boat. It's a boat that's not just like a regular kayak. Trey, that 14-footer, you could reasonably put 2 people on that and treat it like a small John boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've had that boat. I think I have a video on my Instagram of me taking my 14-footer up through a chute of rapids that 98% of kayaks are going to have to get out and pull their stuff up through that. And I was able to stay in the boat on the foot control steering with the motor trimmed up and run up through those rapids. You don't get that ability with a different boat.
No, you don't, dude.
And that's the thing for this fishery here. It just makes I know there's some really great river boats out here. The Crescent, don't quote me on the name. The Crescent one that Drew Gregory designed.
The Shoaly.
What is it?
The Shoaly.
Yeah, the Shoaly. The Bonafide RVR and the couple of the Jackson kayaks are just really made to be river boats. But the one thing that you don't get with those boats is that shallow draft.
Have you looked into the flux jet?
I have not yet. I saw it. So I saw it and I thought it was so cool. And I love the idea of it. The only thing I would like to do is take the flux jet and put it into an inflatable.
Got it.
That's the only thing I would rather see, because then you get that shallow draft. Like, dude, I'm talking like 2 inches, 3 inches of water is what I drafted in that inflatable.
That's what we do. That's what we do in a flux jet. I got 3 1/4 and flowing without
really?
zero. Yeah, without zero scratching at 3 1/4 inches.
Wow.
I measured it with a tape measure. I like, it is really fun over there, bro. Like, and are you going to, you're not going to ICAST. Are you going to ICAST? Please tell me. Well,
I would like to
talk after the show. We'll talk business after the show because, like, it's there.
Yeah. So it's a really cool design, man. And honestly, I hope that Trey doesn't get mad with me saying this. So literally for like the last year or so, I was bugging in Trey's ear, telling him to find an electric jet motor to try to put onto those kayaks. Literally, I'm talking for like the whole last year and a half. I've been like bugging him about doing it because I knew that having that coupled with that inflatable, that would have been like the ultimate rig for me.
Yes.
And I find it incredibly awesome that people are thinking outside the box in ways of making new methods of kayak propulsion. That flux jet motor situation is very intriguing to me. I love it. I love the idea. I love the fact that somebody came out with it. And good on those guys for taking a chance.
Yeah, Jason's the man, dude. Like,
Yeah,
Jason and James over there, it's like walking into like a robotics / science chemistry lab. Every time you show up, it's like,
listen, if you know those boys,
Hmm?
and if they ever want to test one out, I know a guy that lives on the Susquehanna River that would gladly take one of their boats and purposely try to break it if they ever want to see what it. Because I mean, let's be realistic, right? Where's that flux jet going to excel? We're talking shallow waters, right? One thing, and I'm curious to see how they've done it, but one of the biggest drawbacks of a jet motor is grass. Grass.
Go to my YouTube.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
No sweat. Yeah.
Because grass, like on my jet motor on my boat,
Mm-hmm.
if I get grass in my intake, I have to lift the motor, clean it out.
This intake is completely proprietary.
I love that. Love that.
Yeah. Okay. We're talking. Sorry, everybody. We're talking a lot of fishing. And me and Jake will go down this rabbit hole for the next 3 hours. Yeah,
for sure.
Jake, let's focus more on you and your life, dude. So,
all right, man.
Where and when were you born, man?
Oh, I was born in southwestern Pennsylvania, about 30 miles south of Pittsburgh. July 28th, 1984. I'm a Leo, which is very indicative of my personality.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. I made cat claws at him for the audio.
I like long walks on the beach and red wine, chilled. So
that's awesome, dude. Yeah. So, okay, 84 in South Philly. Did you stay there for a long time?
South Pittsburgh.
South Pittsburgh.
Completely different side of the state.
Yeah, Philly and Pittsburgh, totally different. So did you grow up there most of your life, or did you move quickly, or how'd that work?
No, I ever since I grew up there from the time I was a baby until I turned 18, and shortly before I turned 18, September 11th happened, which had prompted me to join the military, and I spent 12 years serving active duty in the United States Air Force. That moved me around a good bit, but I was stationed in San Antonio, Texas, and then Vandenberg Air Force Base, California, and then Andrews Air Force Base, Maryland, then Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana, and then Andrews Air Force Base again. I got to move around a little bit. So,
dude,
California, heavy. When I was in California in 2002, right? Right? Is that right? Yes. In 2002, when I was in California, gas was already like $3.50 a gallon. Yeah.
It's like $6.15 right now.
It was culture shock for me going from Pennsylvania out to there, and I'm like, dude, I left home and it was like $1.75. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Out here it's a whole nother level of stupid. I swear.
Yeah. It's wild.
So did you grow up brothers and sisters, all that kind of stuff, or just
no? I have a half sister, but I don't really claim her.
Oh.
If she's watching, peace out.
Oh.
Yeah, she and I don't really see eye to eye. We don't get along a whole lot. So
okay, yeah, dude. So all right, so growing up in Pennsylvania was like, I talked to a lot of people in fishing, and like fishing was like their mainstay. Did you grow up fishing and being outdoors, or were you just like?
So we had I had a river growing up that was very close to my house. I could walk maybe a mile and be on the banks of the Youghiogheny River. Do you know Russell Johnson?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. So Russell Johnson is a he's a big name back there, and he's a big kayak angler. Used to be. He kind of got out of it, but that river is plentiful with smallmouth bass. It's not like the Susquehanna or the Juniata or even the New, where like you're not finding giant smallmouth. You will find the occasional 20, but most of your good smallmouth are going to be in that 16 to 18 inch range there. 18 inch smallmouth there is a really, really good quality fish.
Okay.
That's what I grew up. But dude, I didn't grow up targeting smallmouth. We literally would go down to the river. Me and my best friend Drew, we would go down to the river and fish all day long, and it didn't matter what we caught. we would catch trout, we would catch bass, we would catch rock bass, carp, catfish. It didn't matter. We caught one of the coolest fish I've ever caught in my life was a sawguy. It's a mixture between a sauger and a walleye.
Yeah.
Such a cool fish. It's such cool markings on it. Like it was a very, very cool place to grow up and fish. And then like so my grandfather was a big fisherman. He had a boat. He always had a boat. He loved walleye fishing, right? So we would always go walleye fishing on the Youghiogheny River Lake, which is where the Youghiogheny River started. So we would go on the Youghiogheny River Lake, and I'm not even joking with you. My grandfather would catch 4 and 5 pound smallmouth while we were walleye fishing, and he would throw them back like they were trash fish. Just, like I can't tell you how many times that I saw my grandfather catch like this giant ass smallmouth, and like he would just be pissed. And he'd be like, like that. Like I'm like, Pat, I'm like, that's a huge fish. He's like, yeah, but we can't eat it. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like what? All right, I guess, man. Like whatever.
It's so big.
Yeah, I didn't know then what it really, what a fish like that meant.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so, when I joined the military, for the most part, I didn't fish a whole lot.
Yeah.
I didn't, moving around to new places and all that kind of stuff. Like it just wasn't a priority. I primarily golfed. And then, if I was on a base that had a base lake, I would go fish there, but because I didn't have to have a license.
Yeah.
But yeah, just once I came back, I started fishing again whenever I moved to this area. And then after that, dude, I fell in love with this river. I'll never leave the Susquehanna.
It's like destination for smallmouth anglers
It's
across
prolific.
the U.S., dude. I swear it's probably world renowned as like the smallmouth fishery for river fishing,
So I know of people that come from Italy and Japan and stuff like that come here to fish this river every year with guides.
So cool.
And so if you have any new river listeners here, they're going to get mad at me whenever I say this. The New River is probably the closest thing you would come to the Susquehanna with when you're talking about the quality of fish that you're gonna catch. And so I shouldn't say that because there's the Upper Mississippi, which is absolutely insane too. There's really 3 places in terms of rivers in this country that you could go to. It's the Upper Mississippi, the New River, and the Susquehanna. But I think pound for pound, the amount of fish that we have that are between 18 and 20 inches is just astronomical compared to most places.
Yeah.
It's just insane. In this fishery, it's so resilient. It just keeps coming back time after time, no matter how many punches it takes, with pollution, with floods, with invasions of invasive species and everything else like that. Like this river just keeps coming back year after year after year after year.
Yeah.
Like 20. So I'll get on a soapbox talking about this, but in 2018, we had flood waters the entire year, the entire year, spring through the end of the fall. It was just a very high water year. There were,
You cut out.
Say
that again. Sorry. You said high water year and then you cut out. Sorry.
Yeah. So 2018 was a high water year, lots of flood. And just, it was just a very volatile river that year. We had numerous fish kills all year long. You would see after a real high water event, big 20-inch smallmouth just on the bank, dead, gross, decaying and everything like that. And you saw it in 2019 and 2020 and even a little bit into 2021 where the numbers of big fish just weren't there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm talking big fish, I'm talking like 21s, 22s, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They just were not being caught. And the reason they were not being caught is because of those fish kills that killed all those big fish in that 2018 year.
Yeah.
But when I tell you this fishery has rebounded, dude, the last few years have been some of the absolute best big fish years I've seen since I've been here. And, you know, there's people that have fished this river for 20, 30 years that are saying the same thing. Like, yeah, like, dude, we're seeing 21s and 22s caught regularly. And I'm absolutely certain that this fishery has a couple 23s and 24s in it. I really think those fish are nomadic. I really think those fish are big for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, those may get caught once a year. I know it was like last year or the year before, somebody had caught a 24-inch smallmouth. And I think last year someone had caught a 23. But, you know, you hear kind of reports of that and you never really know that if it's accurate or not. I know the 24 was accurate. I saw pictures of that on a measuring, you know, device.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just this fishery has them. And it's not like the new, where the new will have, you know, the new will have some really big smallmouth. But in order to catch those really big smallmouth, you have to catch 100 that are, you know, 10 inches to 12 inches.
Yeah.
Whereas the Susquehanna, in order to catch that 21 and 22, you have to catch 20 to 30 that are over 18.
Oh,
and that's the thing. Like, you can come to this river and you can do a day's fishing. And honestly, if you come to this river and catch less than 90 inches a day, you're never going to have a chance to crack a top 10 in a tournament.
Ooh.
Find me another fishery that's like that. It's not the smallmouth fishery.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
You know, you can say, okay, well, largemouth fishery is different.
Yeah.
But find me another smallmouth fishery that's like that.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know of one.
No, that's what I was saying. Like, it is world renowned as, like, the numbers that it pushes out is constantly high end, like constantly on the higher end. Like, I don't see when I've watched plenty of little tournaments and, like, or I'll go to, like, the reviews and I'll look down at the Tourney X numbers and all that kind of stuff. You don't even see a whole lot of 17s, dude, coming out of that place. Like, it's crazy.
No, because they don't get measured, really. Like, they just they're not in a place where, like, hold on a second.
Yep.
You're good. Go ahead and brush your teeth. Please, no, hold on. We're recording, Sarah. It's not live. My wife is brushing her teeth. So
that's fine.
Give me just a minute to look something up while she does that.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the last Bassmaster tournament that we had here on the river.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I fished that tournament, and I want to say that I caught 91 inches it was 89 inches on day one and like 91 inches on day two. And I think I finished in like 23rd place.
Whoa, dude.
That
sounds like a Clear Lake tournament to me for largemouth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Holy
and that's
cow.
kind of like, that's the way that this fishery is, you know, that's the way it works. Like, you don't come here and find tournaments where it just doesn't happen. Like,
put out numbers like that in smallmouth. So for people who are listening that don't understand, like, smallmouth aren't necessarily, they don't grow longer like largemouth do. They're actually more of a compact fish. So when you start getting into 17, 18, 19 inches, the fish is actually rounder almost. When you get into 20, it's as round as it is long, damn near. They just get big, and river fish don't get as round. This is more lake fish. River fish are more lean, they're more muscle, so their tails are a little bit longer, they're a little bit more streamlined because they live in moving water. But basically the length of the fish is how kayak tournaments are measured. And so when you catch a 20-inch smallmouth, it's been there for 5, 6, 7 years. Like, it's not a new fish, it's not young as compared to where if you catch a 20-inch largemouth, that thing could be 2 years old, 3 years old, you know. So, and it's still new to the whole is it a bluegill or is it a big worm, you know? Like, they'll just eat it, you know. So it's a little different when you're hunting or you're fishing for a more elusive, smarter fish for the most part. Yes, more aggressive and definitely ready to tear hell up for sure, but it's a lot smarter to fishing pressure because it's been around a lot longer. So there's the explanation for the people who aren't really in like as fishing savvy.
When you delete your Tourney X profile, does like I'm asking a serious question. When you delete your Tourney X profile, does it not show your results anymore?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know.
Because I can't find myself on that tournament. But so I'm gonna go down. The last kayak tournament that the Bassmaster had here was July of 2024.
Okay.
The winning number was 93.5 on day 1 and 94.25 on day 2. Second place was separated by a 1/4 inch. Third place was separated from first by a 1/2 inch. Fourth place was tied with third. Another 1/4 inch lower was fifth. So we're talking.
That's 1 inch.
1
inch difference from first to fourth.
I'm gonna go down. The top 11 people had over 90 inches a day.
Oh yeah.
Number 12 had 94.25 and 89.75. Number 13 had 98.75 and 81.75. 92 and 88.25. 87.25 and 92.75. Like everybody that was in the top 30 was cracking 90 inches on one of those days.
Dude.
Like that's the kind of fishery that it is. And you know, it's just, you know, it's consistent. Like it's consistent. It happens. That's just how this place is built.
Yeah. Trust me, it is my bucket list. It's on my bucket list of places I would like to come fish. I told you, I was like, if I ever get that way, you're getting a phone call.
Please
sure.
do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Because
we'll go live and we'll fish.
You just see me in a bikini in the back seat or something. Just trying to catch smallmouth. Right out here. You seen the guy on the.
It's an easy explanation. I'll just tell all my followers. I'm like, Dave's from California, and this is normal for them out there. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, dude. So okay. So when you left for the military, because you're like, okay, I'm inspired. 9/11 happened. You left for the military. Were you in that like I'm gonna go take them all out kind of mentality, or were you like I just want to defend my country mentality? Like where does your brain go with that?
Partially, some of it was because I figured I'd probably end up in jail if I didn't go to the military.
Yeah.
I oddly enough, after my career choice, once I joined the military, it was kind of weird. But you know, I wasn't a real great kid. I did some dumb shit, as we all do.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
we're children of the 80s. Yeah.
So I had that going for me, and then there was also the aspect of, you know, I did feel a patriotic sense where I had to do something.
Yeah,
I couldn't just stay at home and do nothing. And the other part of it was that if I didn't go, I was probably going to end up in jail.
Got it. So. Yep. I'm a little jealous. I was literally talking to somebody last week. 9/11 happened, and I had just gotten out of jail. And like, you know, so I'm like, oh, all right. I was all hungover, and they're like, "We're going to war." I was like, "What happened?" So I'm watching this on TV. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, dude, it was wild. So you're over there. Is there any like experiences over there that really like kind of like changed or helped your mentality for growing as a youth to an adult? Because I mean, that's
from the military experience.
Yeah.
Your whole life changes quite drastically when someone starts yelling at you to do basic daily life activities.
Make your bed.
Yeah, make your fucking bed. Like, it's a whole different experience whenever you wake up in the morning to someone yelling at you. So like it's different. I guess, you know, any life experiences that I had from my military time, I try to honestly kind of limit those to my regular civilian life, because otherwise I subject those onto my family, and then it makes them very unhappy.
Oh, I bet. So did you I do have the perfect
1 second
idea. Yeah.
I was intrigued. Go ahead.
Are you getting ready to leave?
Ooh, she in the background, like,
Yeah.
tell me more.
I love it. All right. Bye.
That was Jake's wife, everybody, for his listening. Not his.
That was actually my girlfriend.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, don't tell my wife.
Okay, got it. Don't listen, Josie, or whatever your wife's name is.
Josie, exactly. She's at the truck stop. Don't worry.
So, okay. So, how was reintegration for you when you got out?
It was almost seamless because I left the military, and 6 days later I started a job as a police officer. So I don't know what reintegration really was like.
What year did you what year did you get you leave the military in
2014?
Dude. So that's like a hectic time because you literally go from like the most hated person in nationally to like the most hated person locally. Like how did that work for you? Does that kind of take a toll on you as a human, or are you just kind of like
One thing I've found about this career field is actually when I was in the military, as a military cop, a lot of it made more sense. For the most part, the people that we were policing were, had security clearances and had something to lose.
Yeah.
And now, they don't. You're dealing with your average person. But I'll say this, as a military cop, I was a lot happier. As a civilian cop, we are political pawns, and both sides of the aisle use us to their advantage whenever it's convenient for them. And I don't like to be overly political, but you can see it based on the news cycles, how that they politicize our career field. And, sometimes we're made out to be hated, and sometimes we're made out to be heroes.
Yeah.
And, the moral of it, the majority of us, we just come to work and do a job because that's our job. Most cops are not dirty cops. Most cops are not bad people.
Yeah.
When it's the way I kind of attribute it is like, you have a school teacher who might be doing some weird things with some students, right?
Yeah.
That makes the national news cycle for a day.
Yep.
A cop shoots somebody, and depending on who that person is that they shot, that makes the national news cycle for a week.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. Or longer. It could be longer than a week.
Yeah. It's usually longer than a week.
Yeah.
I live in California. It's
probably constant.
Yeah, you're a pariah for like 2 years,
Remember that time last year when somebody got shot?
Yeah.
Like,
you remember that one time that one guy?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, it's that whole aspect of it. I put it out of my mind because I can't control it.
Yeah.
I can't control the fact that somebody's going to hate me just because of what I do.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I'm a sarcastic asshole. That's my baseline.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I promise you, if you show hatred towards me, I am going to kill you with kindness. I am going to make you out to be the bigger asshole. If you're an asshole to me, I will purposely be not an asshole to you.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Call me petty, maybe a little toxic.
It's all good. It's maybe a little, but it's all good. It's just a hair. So,
Yeah.
Okay. And in this time, like you got out, apparently you are in a relationship. Did that happen immediately, or was that over time? How did that work out?
No, we were married. I was married whenever I was still in the military.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah, I've known her since high school.
Oh, so you married your high school sweetheart?
Yeah, not necessarily. I had to do a lot of convincing.
Married your high school homegirl?
Yeah, like I had to stand outside her door, like, like that kind of thing, and
beat off. Trench coat with the radio above your head. That trench coat too.
Lord Jesus,
I'm an attack helicopter.
We call that the helicopter here in Pennsylvania.
Yes, dude, that's so good.
That's terrible. Yeah, but no, I knew her from all the way back then. It's been good.
Yeah, man.
I
mean,
every relationship has ebbs and flows, and 20 plus years, you got a bunch of them,
Dude, congratulations. That's a long time, dude. That's
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Tell me about it every day. I know it's a long time. Oh, I kid.
Yeah.
Saying that, I kid, like we have an 18-year-old who, I know we talked about it briefly earlier, but
Yeah.
he starts college in August. So we kind of like, we won, right? Like we made it to the finish line.
Yeah, dude, you succeeded.
So, yeah, like he hasn't done anything incredibly stupid yet. So and then he's going to move out, and then it's his responsibility if he does something really stupid. So,
he's moving out.
Well, he's going to move away and go to college. I can't see.
Well, I'm not saying where, like, but is he a couple states away, or is it?
No. He's going to be in state. So,
okay.
So my wife works for a hospital here that actually gets a tuition discount for Penn State schools. So I'm proud of my kid, and I'm proud of what he does, and I can't imagine anyone would want to take him. So I don't mind telling everyone about what he's doing. He's going to Penn Tech Williamsport, and he's going to do 2 years of power generation and get an associate's degree in power gen. And then he's going to do 2 additional years, which will equal out to a bachelor's degree in building automation. So he's going to come out with power generation and building automation as a 2-year and a 4-year degree program. And he's only going to do 4 years.
Oh, he's a smart one. He's
well.
Hey,
I live with him. And
okay. Well, you're talking about Penn State, and I'm like graduate of State Penn type thing. So like, I think he's a smart one. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. So yeah. I'm proud of this kid in the fact that he's got a solid plan. And honestly, he's a hardworking kid, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where he gets his work ethic. Because he's worked since he was 14. He's had a job. He bought his own truck. He bought his second truck after he totaled his first truck and almost killed our 87-year-old neighbor.
That's kid stuff though. That's
yeah,
stuff, though.
Yeah, I guess. But he also, he had so he opened up his own landscaping business too when he was like 16. Okay. So for the last 2 years, he's been doing his own landscaping business. And in that time frame, he's went and bought a commercial grade mower. He's bought a trailer. He's bought everything that he needs from like, the hand tools and everything. He has purchased all that. So he's got a good head on his shoulders in terms of, prioritizing things that need to be prioritized. Now he still does dumb shit, right? And every kid's going to do dumb shit. But yeah, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of what he's doing.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you're super proud of him, and I would be that dude. That's awesome. Like, he's self-made. Like, good kid.
The other thing too. So here's another thing, and this is the last I'm gonna toot his horn, but he also goes to church like 2 times a week, 3 times really if you count Young Life. I think there's a girl there though. Yeah, I don't go there. It's probably not the best place for me.
Yeah.
I'm afraid what would happen if I walked into the church.
You would catch on fire.
I might. Yeah. But yeah, he goes to church. He's a big believer in God, and he's, I don't take that. I don't take that away from him. I encourage him to go. But yeah, he's a good kid, man. He's a real good kid.
Dude, that's great. I mean, Jake, as hard as it is to believe, because I know you and me are pretty savage, I go to church every Sunday that I possibly can. I'm involved with my church. I encourage my kids.
And
I'm a full believer, and but I'm a realistic man. Like, you and me have had chats many times. Like,
I struggle with some of the ideas of church and some of the people that go to the church here locally. If I found one that I liked, the one that I felt that there was, a majority of realistic people that weren't lying to themselves, I probably would go.
Well, that's why I don't believe in church. I believe in God. I go to church to find other people that believe the same thing I do. It's more of an accountability group than like an actual like life cycle.
And some churches are more of like a status thing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't want that.
Well, that's why I don't go to those.
Like, I want to go to some backwoods church where they like they're like holding snakes up and shit because those people truly believe some shit. Like they're holding rattlesnakes. Like that person believes in God.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous reptile. Like
yeah, that's a death adder, sir. Please put that back in the box.
like that is a certified nope rope, and it is rattling.
Yeah.
Can we please put that away? But no, God says it. No, God says put it away. Like that's what God says.
God said, get that thing out of my face. Oh, I love it. Yeah. No, I'm not knocking on people that actually do this by any means. It's just I find it super entertaining. I'm not down, you know.
Look, we talked about this earlier too. People get way too offended too easily anymore.
Yes.
We should have prefaced this podcast with, if you're easily offended, skip it and go to the next one.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah, there's other ones. Yeah, hey, dude, I'll put it in the notes when people go to listen.
This
It's
is
there,
not for the
so
faint of
they've
heart.
been warned. They just didn't read. That's not my problem, you know.
It's funny.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude. So okay, so your kid's on a legendary journey right now. He's getting ready to go into college. Wife's, of course, we all saw she's off to work. What do you got going in? Make that money. No. So
Daddy wants to retire.
yeah, hell yeah. And you said it earlier, you're getting near the end, right? You're almost done.
I'm making the choice. Yeah.
Okay.
So technically I can't retire for a while. Hey dog, you think maybe we have a special guest?
Oh, special guest. Hey,
Come on.
puppy.
Hey, you see the camera? Right up here. Yeah. So I can't retire for a while according to my age, because right now I'm only 41, getting ready to turn 42.
Right.
So technically it's a while before I can retire, but I plan to retire in September of 2032. Why September 2032? Because with my military buyback time, it'll mark 30 years of service.
Okay.
And on top of that, it also gives me time to get the guide business fully seated and be able to really truly take it full time and say, this is what I'm going to do for the next 10 years until I can collect my full retirement. So
that's kind of what I was getting at. You've opened up a guide service now.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. How's that going for you, dude? Like, are you getting to meet new people and like have a good time doing that? Or is it like kind of guys you already know?
I love it. I'm meeting a lot of new people. I'll say this. I've already seen, ow. Oh God, get down, please. Ouch. That hurts.
Jake's not wearing any pants. His dog just stepped on his crotch. Just
no kidding, right? I think that's something PETA might get called for that. So let's not put that on there. So last year, this time, I think I had 10 trips booked.
Okay.
Right. This year, I already have over 20. So I'm already experiencing like 200% growth from last year to this year. I have like 80%, 70 to 80% of return clients.
Oh, wow. Like
that to me, that's been probably the most rewarding thing that is not readily, like I can't, it's hard to quantify it from the outside looking in, but for me looking at it and saying, man, all these people trusted me enough last year to take a chance. And this year they're coming back because last year was fun.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. If I continue, so a lot of guides here and a lot of guides in general, forget the aspect of what this is, right? Mm-hmm. You're in the business of teaching and entertaining, right? Teaching and entertaining. A lot of times you're teaching first because the people that are hiring you may not be the most advanced angler, right? They may not be the best angler. They may not know how to target or where to target the fish. And it's your responsibility as the guide to, in part, teach them and also, but you're also entertaining them. And we've had bad days on the water. We've had absolute dog shit days on the water where the numbers haven't been good, the size hasn't been good. But at some point during that time frame, when you realize that's the kind of day that it's going to be, you have to make a conscious decision as a guide to say, okay, what can I give this person for their time and their money?
Yeah.
Right? And if I can't if I can't put them on trophy class fish on a regular basis, then I got to teach them something. And I love getting someone on a boat, whether it's one-on-one or one-on-two, and imparting any knowledge that I can on them to help them become a better fisherman or a better angler or whatever. That is something that I've found that I enjoy that more than tournament fishing.
Yeah.
The tournament fishing aspect, which I used to love tournament fishing. I loved it. Yeah. It's nothing compared to going out and teaching someone else how to do this.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I mean, just the intercommunication between two people, like watching that light bulb turn on, like watching someone figure something out, like after like giving them advice, like it's super cool.
So I have a client who's a return client from last year. He's coming tomorrow. Last year, he was my first trip. He was my first ever client on my boat. And last year, it was April 1st. We showed up to the boat ramp, and it was like 32 degrees that morning. And he gets out, and he's from Jersey, right? Yeah. He gets out and he's like, man, he goes, oh, it's cold. He's like, you think we should hang out a bit before we head out? I'm like, nah, man, we're good. I said, what boat's launched? Like, let's go. Right.
Yeah.
He's like, you think we're going to catch him? I was like, I know we're going to catch him. He's like, that confident. I'm like, I promise you, Joe, we're going to catch him. Now, mind you, I was there the day before and I shook off like 6 in a row. Right.
Okay. So yeah.
I was like, okay, we're good. So we get there, we pull up to the first spot. I drop the trolling motor down. I hand him a fishing rod and I tell him, I start to tell him what we're going to do. Right. I move us into position with the trolling motor and I'm telling him, I'm like, all right, we're going to throw crankbaits. We're going to target this current seam. I said, you see this line of foam right here. I want you to cast right up along that line of foam as far up as you can. And I want you to just, pull it down current. Like you're going to have to reel somewhat fast because you're pulling it down current. But I was like, I want you to just keep it right on that seam, on that foam seam. He's like, okay, cool. So I hit spot lock on the trolling motor and I hear him cast. I turn around to put something, I don't remember what it was, but no sooner did I turn around and I hear him go, fish on, and then the drag starts reeling. So I look up and I'm like, thank God, right? This is my first ever guide trip, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so great. Like it couldn't have gone any better. He proceeded to catch like 10 fish in a row. 5 of those fish were over 19 inches and one of those fish was over 20. And he literally in the first hour put on a clinic with a crankbait, just one after another, after another, after another. And we got to the point where he caught so many fish off this one spot. And I was looking at him. I'm like, do you want to keep fishing here? Or do you want to try, do you want to go up and hit the next one? And he goes, do you think there's still fish here? And I was like, I'm certain that there's still fish here. I was like, I don't know how many more we're going to catch right now.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. He's like, let's go try the next spot. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go up to the next spot. He catches some more. We go into the mouth of a creek. He catches some more. And then we go back down to the spot where we started at, and I pull in and I put the trolling motor on spot lock, and I turn around and he's like sitting in the middle of my boat. He's kind of leans back on the chair and like he got this cigar and he's just firing up this cigar. And I'm like, you good? He goes, yeah, man. He's like, I need a break. I'm like, you all right, Joe? And he's like, yeah. He's like, dude, I've never caught this many fish in one trip before.
That's so awesome.
I'm like, this was exactly what I needed, right? From trip number 1 was exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
And seeing that level of excitement and that level of joy in somebody else's face and knowing that I helped cause it, there's nothing better than that. Dude. Like, I love it, dude. Yeah. I love it.
Dude. The dude cut his day in half just to have a cigar. Like that's a sign. You're like, okay, cool.
Yo, my guy was just like, he fired one up and then like he starts puffing on it. He goes, you don't mind if I smoke on your boat? I'm like, Joe, you can do whatever you want on my boat.
Like, you just got 30 fish, bro. Do what you want.
Dude, you're paying for this time. You want to sit there and smoke a cigar? Smoke a cigar. I don't give a shit. Like,
so you as the guide, like, are you fishing too, or are you just kind of like hanging out?
I try not to unless it's tough. Like if it's tough, I'll try to figure out, a pattern, like maybe like whatever I think that they should be doing, maybe it isn't working. So I'll start trying to do something different, or I'll verify that I was right and maybe be able to impart some advice on them. Like maybe they're overworking a bait, or they're underworking a bait, or maybe they're not putting it in the right spot. And if I do it and then catch fish, then I'll be like, oh, hey, like they're here. This is what they're going to eat, and they're here, but this is what you need to do to have success with it.
Yeah.
So like, that's about the only time I try to pick up a rod. The other day, whenever I had my buddy Mike out there, who's a return client, he caught his personal best smallmouth at 21 inches. He had a tough day numbers wise. It was real tough. But we've been having a lot of ups and downs with weather and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but that day, I fished a good bit just because it was hard to determine a pattern of what they wanted. I had a bite on a finesse jig. I had a couple bites on a crankbait. I had a couple bites on a chatterbait. He stuck the chatterbait and crankbait in his hand all day and was pretty happy. But it was, man, gosh, I actually he had to save my life the other day. Because I caught a fish on a crankbait. And I get it close to the boat, and I go to grab the line to pull it up. And, of course, my hand slides down the line, and I grab the crankbait. And the same time my hand slides down, I grab the crankbait, the fish does this number right here. Well, I don't know if you can see it.
No.
Hold on. Right there.
Oh, no.
See that?
Yes.
So the hook went in there and then got up underneath the fingernail. So I'm holding this fish, and I'm like trying to gently manipulate the fish off the hook. I get the fish off the hook and I throw it back. And I said, Mike, I'm so sorry. And he goes, no, man. He goes, it's okay. Like, I expected you to be fishing. I'm like, no, Mike, I need you to come here. So he comes over, and I'm like, can you please grab those split ring pliers over there behind the fish finder? And he's like, yeah. He's like, where are they at? And I'm like, they're blue handles. He gets them. He comes over, and I'm like, I need you to take this crankbait off this. I need you to take this off the hook. He goes, dude, he's like, my eyesight's shit. I'm like, give me the split ring pliers. I'll get it in position. All I need you to do after that is just work it off the split ring.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. So I'm sitting there, and of course he's moving the hook.
Oh,
he's grinding it. And I'm just like, I'm saying every curse word I can say underneath my breath to not cause like distress with him.
Yeah.
He finally gets it off. And I said, have you ever seen the braid trick? And he's like, I've watched it a couple times on YouTube. I'm like, all right, cool. So I grabbed some braid, I cut it off, I tie it around the hook bend 3 times. It's all the way down to the bend. Okay. Like it's all the way down to
Yep.
Right. I can feel it, man. Like it's in there. And I'm just like, oh my God, this hurts. This sucks so bad.
Yes.
So I tie it down tight, and I tell him, I said, I'm going to put my hand on the seat, and I need you to push your finger down on my fingernail, right on top of my fingernail. I said, when you do this, I was like, Mike, I can't know that you're going to do it. Okay. I said, I cannot know that you're going to do it. He's like, so don't count down. I said, do not count down. So he puts his finger on my thumb, and he grabs the line, and he starts talking to me about what he's going to do. He's like, is it you just rip it out? And I'm like, yeah. And I started explaining to him how to do it. And right as I started explaining it to him, he just rips it out. And I'm like, thank God I'm like, that's the best possible scenario, because I had no idea it was coming.
Yeah.
He totally tricked me. But it came right out, and I bled, but whatever. Yeah. Like we kept fishing. And then later that day I also put one in my pinky, but I just ripped it out myself. But it was a tough day, but man, we had a good time because we talked about how to target these fish whenever they're doing this, when they're doing that, and how to read this water and how to do this. So, man, you just got to give them something, even if it's a tough day, you got to give them something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. You gave him a lot, because you gave him like a surgery lesson.
Dude, he said, because honestly, dude, the way that hook was, I was not getting it out myself. There was a 0% chance that I was getting that hook out myself. I felt it underneath the fingernail.
Yep.
Like dude, that was an excruciating amount of pain.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's nuts. I did that to my thumb. You remember when I had like the death hand or whatever? Look,
Yeah.
it's all better now. It's got a bunch of
I like
scars, but yeah, same thing. I had a hook, but it was through the fish, and I grabbed the fish, and he wallered at the last second, and then it went into my thumb. But it went from the bottom past the bone and got up under the nail. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of skipped around the bone and just buried right under the nail. Like you could see the black dot in my thumb where the hook was like trying to come through. Oh, dude, I get it. It is that when it hits the underside of your nail bed is a different nerve cluster that your body is like, hey, that's never been touched.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, no,
I wasn't ready for that.
Oh, dude.
I'm like, this is never. I'm not even gonna say what I thought it felt like. It felt like something.
God,
really
I'll tell you what. At least you had a grown man. I had a 7-year-old or 8-year-old at the time, and I was like, "Hey, buddy," but
I would have figured out a way to make it work.
Yeah, I did. Hey, have you ever heard of that dehooker tool? Have you ever checked that thing out?
I haven't. I've heard of it, but I haven't. Man, the braid thing is so good.
Yeah.
The only caveat to that is you need a second person.
Yeah. See, that's why I got one on my kayak, because I can't fit my homie on my kayak with me. As much as he wants to be on there with me.
That's funny.
Dude. So I do have a question about the guiding thing. Like, what led you to become a guide? Like, what I know it was not like the earnestness, I want to impart knowledge on my local community. Was it just like, I want to fish and I want to be able to do it, or what?
So I fell into a very fortunate situation for me with the boat. There was a gentleman selling a boat that he was selling it for well under what it was worth.
Got it.
And I was like, man, don't want to pass up on this opportunity. I was like, so I figured out a way to make it work. And, I talked to my buddy, Jason, who's been a guide on this river for 15, 20 years. And I said, hey man, I'm going to buy this boat. And I was like, I think I'm going to open up a guide service. And, his advice to me was, he's like, I don't think you're ready for that. He's like, I think you need to have the boat for a couple years, before you really think about doing it. And I was like, as much as I appreciate your perspective and I respect the fact that you have given me an honest opinion as a friend, I'm going to not follow your advice and I'm going to do what I want to do. Right. Yeah. He's like, hey man, he's like, more power to you. He's like, I really hope it works out for you. But he stuck to his guns.
Yeah.
So, and I appreciate that level of honesty from a friend, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, I had my boat for 6 months or so, and then last year in April, I started the guide business. I did that really as a method to pay for the boat. I didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't know if I was going to like it. I didn't know if it was something I could see myself doing long term because I hadn't experienced it yet. Yeah. After last year, I absolutely see it something I can do myself, doing for long term. One of the coolest things that happened to me this year in the spring training phase of getting ready for the guide season, Jason and I went fishing a couple times. And, from a guy who's been fishing on this river for, not just fishing on this river, but guiding on this river for a very long time, he said to me, he's like, yeah, it's wrong. He's like, you're totally ready. You're ready.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, man, I cannot tell you how much that meant to me. Yeah. Right. Like that was, call it whatever. Like Jason's another guide on the server. So technically he's a competitor, but to get that from a competitor and from somebody who, borderline mentor, but also a friend, that meant a lot. And,
yeah,
it solidified the fact that for me in my brain that, this is certainly something that I'm going to do long term. I enjoy it, dude. I love it, man. It's so much fun,
dude. Yes, dude. And that sign of approval, man, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he's a competitor. He's has experience with all this, and he told you no, and then to turn around and be like, you're ready. Like,
I mean, his advice in the beginning was sound. have the boat for a couple years, get used to running it. I think what he may have underestimated is the amount of years of kayak fishing this river and how that prepared me for the reading of the current and understanding the operation of what I need to do to get through this and get through that. The only adjustment was really how much speed that I had behind me.
Yeah.
Because my inflatable, I'm going 4 miles an hour up the river and I'm shooting a smaller chute. Right.
Yeah.
In my boat, I'm going 30 miles an hour up the river and I'm shooting a bigger chute.
Yeah.
Like it's the same concept. It's just different,
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, especially people maybe who don't understand kayak versus boat, like the trolling motor is the motor that goes off the front of the boat that basically controls the direction or where you want to go, where you want to stay. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the boat moves on a outboard motor, or your boat's a jet motor that is actually a whole lot faster. So basically kayaks go as fast as a big boat does when they're just chilling, and that's the fastest you're going to get on a kayak. So you really get to learn your water very well, because you can't just burn to the next spot at 40. It's
right.
But
that's the other thing too, is understand being in a kayak, you understand current and how it affects your boat a lot more than you do if you're in a boat.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
Because the way I can explain this is like, I fish down a city island a lot. There's a lot of bridge piers down there. There's fucking 200 bridge piers down there, right? So every time you cross behind one of those bridge piers, you get current seams. So every time you cross behind those bridge piers, your kayak is doing this, right? Understanding that and just kind of like apply that little bit of knowledge to, understanding how to steer your big boat. Right. Now, I get it. Like in my kayak, I have to kind of nose in and kind of let the current move me and then do that every single time. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep getting blown. So applying that to the boat is the same concept. It's just different. It's on a bigger scale.
Yeah. And then also being in a kayak and the current moves kayaks heavily versus boats. So you actually get to understand the current a little bit more. You're like, okay, I can see where the fish would sit up in here because of how this current twists right here, where you would never feel that twist in a big boat. You just wouldn't. You'd be like, I don't know why they're rock. I don't know why.
Another thing that's really funny about that is understanding how much closer you can get to these fish in a kayak than you can in a boat.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Like there's benefits to kayak fishing, and then there's also benefits to boat fishing. But I can tell you that learning stealth in a kayak first certainly helped me in the boat, because it was something that I had to be cognizant of, because I'm trying to fish these spots the same way I'd fish them in a kayak, and I'm like, why am I not catching any fish?
Yeah,
because I already blew the hole out 5 minutes ago. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Much bigger footprint.
So do you another fishing technical question, do you actually do it to where you reset your reels so you can bomb the lures further because you have to stay so far back, or is it kind of you go up a little further?
I didn't really reset my reels as much as the biggest adjustment was getting comfortable standing and casting versus sitting and casting.
Oh yeah.
That to me was probably the biggest adjustment. I think working on the accuracy is important. When you're making a longer cast, you're going to be less accurate, and that was something that I had to adjust to. But distance wise, I'll be honest, I kind of let most of my reels be wide open anyway.
Okay.
I'm kind of all gas, no brakes type of person.
Yeah.
So they were always that way. But in terms of, the accuracy part, I think was something I had to practice a lot, and honestly, it's also something that I try to impart on the clients too, that accuracy aspect of it. Like, you have to be accurate. And if you're not accurate, just count that cast as a throwaway and let's try another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you set your reels up to where people now I'm asking you guide questions. Do you set your rods and reels up to where other people can fish them, or you just keep them where you fish them and then teach people how to fish the way you fish?
So I have a specific set of client rods. One of the very fortunate aspects that made this a very feasible thing for me was I had already built partnerships in the industry. One of those partnerships is with Temple Fork Outfitters. I've been with Temple Fork Outfitters for a number of years, almost 8 years now.
I like that.
I'm an ambassador level with them now, where every year I get some new rods, and I've mostly applied all those rods to the clients.
Yeah.
Also, with that being said, I have a partnership with Bates Fishing Company. They're a new reel company on the market, but they've worked with me in terms of putting their reels on my boat as well.
Yeah.
The only reels I've really had to purchase at a full price has been all the spinning reels. Now, that being said, I only have 6 casting rod and reel combos for clients. I have 3 right hand, heavy, medium, and medium, and I have 3 left hand, heavy, medium, and medium.
Yeah.
Every other rod that I have is a casting or a spinning rod, and I got those all the way from heavy power spinning rods all the way down to medium light spinning rods.
Really?
Mostly that's because a lot of people are more comfortable with the spinning rod than they are with the casting rod.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I have found that my spinning rods probably get 70 to 80% of the workload. The casting rods really just they don't get used as much.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, because they do still get used. I still do have clients that are good with them, but more often than not, when we're talking about being proficient and being accurate with casting and being able to cast long distances, the spinning rods and reels tend to be where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
I mean, everybody kind of knows a spinning rod. You don't have to thumb it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
True.
Bad cast is a bad cast.
Yeah.
Unless you're me, because I don't know what I do with spinning rods. Doesn't matter. About 6th or 7th cast, I just have this extra loop out of my reel, and I'm like, what the hell did this come from?
Are you flipping the bell over with your hand, or are you flipping it over with the reel handle?
With my hand.
Really?
Most
And
of
you're
the
still
time.
getting wind knots?
Most of the time. Every now and then I'll just crank real quick because
If you do that, you're going to get wind knots.
Oh,
If
is
you
that
do-
what it is?
Yeah. If you do that, you're going to get wind knots.
Dude, so I've looked it up. People are like, oh, you need a leader length that doesn't touch your bail, but it doesn't hit your first guide, and like or you need this special knot or this, that, and the. I'm like, I don't get it. It happens to me either way.
Stop making the bell flip over with the reel handle and see if those wind knots cease.
Okay. Yeah.
Just try.
I make a conscious effort with my hand, but every now and then it's like, oh, it's a bad cast, and just crank it back because I'm.
And honestly, that's
terrible with spinning
exactly what's going to cause that wind knot, because when you do that really quick like that, it's got all that extra line, creates that loop, and then the loop just gets bigger every time you cast after that.
Damn it. Well, thank you for the advice. I need that because
I hope it works. I hope that I'm not wrong.
No, it's all good. And if you are, it doesn't matter. It's still operator error. Like the reel does not cast itself, so it's operator error for sure, dude. I appreciate you.
You're not boring me.
No. All right, dude. We're getting to the question round, and this ain't like shotgun round. We're not going to talk about Marry, Fuck, Kill or anything like that. As much as I love those shows, I love all that.
I'm good with it. Whatever you want to do, I don't care.
No, this is legit questions. Like,
right.
Well, not that those are illegitimate questions. I just
they're very legitimate questions.
They are. They really are. Dude. So, all right. So, who's your favorite angler and why?
We're talking anybody.
Anybody, dude.
Jeff Little.
Hell yeah.
And the reason, Jeff is a cerebral angler. When you watch Jeff on video, you're like, man, that dude's very analytical. When you fish with Jeff, it's a learning experience.
Really?
You're talking about a dude who, in his time fishing, is the guy that will catch a fish and anchor his boat and take a snorkel and go find out why. You know what I mean? Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he is a very knowledgeable dude. And I always told Jeff, because a lot of times for the past few years, I was behind the camera with Jeff whenever we would fish.
Yeah.
And I would get to see and hear the stuff that he would cut out of YouTube videos, and it's like fucking gold. It's gold shit.
Oh,
You're like,
yes,
bro, how does that not make the cut? You know what I mean? It's like, wow, I was just babbling. Let's babble more.
we'll make a B-roll video. Yes,
Right. Like, so there was I forget what we were doing, but he had drew one of his drawings, and he was, talking about it, and I'm like, you need to do more of this on camera, dude. Like, you need to get a fucking whiteboard and a marker and bring this shit out and do, like, he's just so intelligent. He's so intelligent when it comes to fish,
dude. Yes, he's like salt of the earth. Like, he's the nicest dude. Like,
Yeah.
he's so cool.
He really is one of the nicest humans you ever meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And I got to pick his brain a little bit when he came out here. And I would ask him a dumb question. Well, I don't know. No, I didn't mean it to be dumb, but I'm dumb. So I'd ask him dumb questions. And he would give me answers that answered questions that I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what?
He's like answering childhood questions.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. My trauma's gone. Yeah, no, he's super good. So who's your favorite fishing personality?
Rest in peace, Aaron Martins.
Hell yeah.
I could watch Aaron Martins fish all day long and never get bored. The quirks, all the antics. Like, I'll tell you, man, I never got a chance to meet Aaron Martins. I wish I would have gotten to meet him before he passed. But I did have a chance to meet Zona, right? And I'm a big fan of Zona. I like Zona's awesome fishing show.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's truly an entertainer.
Yeah.
I got to meet Zona at the Bassmaster Classic. I forget which year. It was like in the Carolinas or something like that. And I walked up to him, and first off, I said to Zona, I said, hey, I got a bone to pick with you. And he's like, oh, what's going on, man? He comes over after he gets done doing a segment. And I was like, yeah, my wife keeps falling asleep to you. He's like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, well, we watch your YouTube channel, and she always gives me a hard time because you wake her up in the middle of the night, and because you're loud. He's like, and he starts laughing. But then, we got to talking briefly, and I told him, I was like, man, I do want to say something on a serious note. The tribute show that he did to Aaron Martins was some of the best produced fishing content I've ever seen in my life. And some of that is, I'm biased because I truly love Aaron Martins for what he did and the way he was. But man, to celebrate that man like that was just, it was fitting, Yeah. And if I had somebody who I could say is my favorite fishing personality of all time, it's Aaron Martins. It's easily Aaron Martins.
Hell yeah. So I feel like fishing's missing that, if that makes sense. Like, more of the story, more of the, I mean, it's coming around, but like more of the background. Like, I want to know personally, like,
what I liked about Aaron? He didn't give a shit what anybody else thought. He just was himself.
Yes.
And I wish more people were themselves, because so many people operate and do things on the premise that, what are my sponsors going to think, or what are these people going to think, or what the people in the industry might think. I love the fact that he didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I love the fact that he just went out there and fucking fished.
Dude, we were talking about this last week. Authenticity is like so rare. It's like people like, I want to thank my Mercury. I want to thank my this, that, and the other. I want to hear the guy go, dude, I lost my mind. I had a meltdown. I had to I ate way too many gas station burritos, and I had to hang off the back of my boat. Like, I want to hear the real story. Like, I want to know everything that's going on with you, dude. Like, I want to know what your mentality was. I don't want to, I mean, yes, you have to thank your sponsors. Everybody's got a job, but I feel like the authenticity is lost, especially when they catch a big fish and they're like, or something. You're like, no, dude, like, that's exciting. Like,
one of the things with that authenticity piece of it, though, too, is, a lot of people will be sponsored by a company, but not necessarily always use what they make.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can you say, oh, well, this company is so integral, but like, it's like being sponsored by Zoom and thanking Zoom, but then you caught all of your fish on a freaking spinnerbait. And it's like, Zoom doesn't make spinnerbaits.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. Like for me, I try to keep my associations with companies that I can truly speak to, right? TFO, I can absolutely speak. Every single fishing rod that I own is made by TFO, and that's me having gone through a lot of different brands to find out what I liked. And as far as casting reels, I sold every Shimano reel that I had and bought all brand new baits reels because they proved themselves to me and I used them. When you're talking about, like, I recently got hooked up with Picasso. I've been a Picasso fan ever since I watched Aaron Martin's, so much. And honestly, the first baits that I ever really bought from Picasso was their buzz baits. And I never talked about them because they were so good. Yeah. And then their buzz baits kept getting better and better. And then I tried out a rusty squeaker and oh my God, that rusty squeaker is legit. But everything, like their A-rigs and stuff like that. Like, I was big, real good friends with Kurt Smits. I call Kurt Pappy, right? It's Pappy to me.
Pappy.
But he's been with Picasso for a long time.
Okay.
And I finally messaged him and I talked to him and I'm like, Kurt, who can you introduce me to, dude? Because I use so much of their stuff. Yeah. Like, who can you introduce me to? And then he put me in contact with their guy. Like, the authenticity comes from having used this stuff without being paid to use this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the part where the authenticity comes in.
Yeah. I vote with my dollars. I vote that this company is like what I want to use. This is the people that I want to be with. Like, that's true. Instead of they address you like, hey, I got these cool Savage Gear bluegills, and you're like, oh, okay. Now I'm not a total against Savage Gear. I have some Savage Gear, but I have the stuff that works for me. I'm not going to go throw nothing.
Controversial topic. You ready for this?
Yes.
Controversial topic.
I love it.
So 2020, I was on the Old Town fishing team. Okay. I loved my Old Town kayaks. I loved my Old Town Predator PDL. I loved the Predator boats in general. Thought they were fantastic boats. I was a believer, right? I get called down to test out the new autopilot down in Florida before the Hobie Bass Open on Lake Seminole. Yeah. We tested it out. At the end of the test, they were doing interviews, and I was like, hey, time out. I'm like, can we talk about this first before we go live on an interview? And they're like, yeah, sure. What's up? I'm like, I don't like the boat. I was like, the boat's not gonna work for me. There's no power. It's a 12 volt motor. I fish in a river with current. I'm never gonna go more than 1.5 miles an hour. I need something that's got more power. This boat does not do it for me. On top of that, I have this 1.5 feet that sticks out underneath me. It's a liability for me fishing in a shallow, rocky river. I'm like, this boat is not gonna work for me, and I can't give it like a stamp of approval for what I do.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we appreciate the feedback. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool, great. So I go to Lake Seminole. I win Lake Seminole in the Hobie Bass Open Series. I attribute that win to the ability of the Predator PDL, with the PDL drive being incredibly efficient, with the boat being designed for current, and I was fishing way up in the Flint River. Those two things combined were a huge factor in me being able to win that tournament.
Yeah.
I noted that in the interview, and I get on my drive home, and part of the pro staff contract with Old Town was that they would pay out a certain amount of dollars if you won or placed in a tournament, a national tournament.
Yeah.
So on my way home, I'm told by the pro staff manager that Old Town was not going to honor that because it was a Hobie series event. Now, after some rebuttal and some argument, they changed that. They changed their mind on that. Yeah. And I'm glad they did, because I felt that was fair and just.
Yeah.
Later that year, they rewrote pro staff contracts, and they said that in the pro staff contract that you could not use a competitor's product. So I asked a clarifying question. I said, is Torqeedo an outboard motor, an electric outboard motor, a competitor to the autopilot spot-lock motor? And they said yes. Now, mind you, Old Town was giving me a free boat, right? They were doing a lot of things for me.
Percentage matching, all that stuff. Yeah.
I gave up my spot on the team because it didn't work for me. You're not going to find very many people that are going to be willing to do that.
No, that's integrity, though.
Yeah, because I even continued using their boat for a while until I tried some other things. But you're not going to find many people that will have that level of honesty, and maybe to a fault, right? Because you're going to have some companies that just want you to blindly do what they want you to do. That's never going to be me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And that's the authenticity that's missing in the sport.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Just like, what is it? Shakespeare, to thine own self be true. Like, be true to you. Like, do you, like, it is definitely missing. And we have to talk Picasso after the show's over because
for sure.
Yes. Yeah. I got introduced to them through Dark Horse Tackle, and like,
you got to try that new shock blade, bro.
Oh no, they're already on deck. They're already on deck. Don't sweat that. There's some other things though that are like little sneaky things that out here in California in high pressure water, like doesn't matter if it's moving or clear, it gets bit and it's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if you could spend a day with anybody, who would it be, and what would you do?
Anybody?
Yeah, no time, no, dead or alive, doesn't matter.
Anybody.
It's kind of a wide brush question, but
I mean, I'm gonna sound kind of disgusting.
No, it's all good.
Topanga Lawrence.
Oh yeah.
Then now it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Huge crush. Celebrity crush.
Hey, bro. Child of the 80s.
If she's listening, what's her name? Danielle Fisher. Danielle Fisher. I think that's like, if you're listening, I only know you as Topanga, but if you would like to go fishing with me, I'd love to take you on my boat, and I'll get a hall pass for my wife.
Oh. Hell yeah.
Anyways.
Right. No, I love it. I think it's great.
A more genuine answer, probably Dick Winters, who's he was one of the lead characters in Band of Brothers, but he's actually from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah, he's from right here and where I live now. But World War II hero. I would love to spend some time with him and talk to him.
Oh, dude, that could happen.
He's done.
Oh, he's dead. Oh,
yeah,
that could happen. Y'all know he's been dead for like 20 years. Like, oh,
yeah, he's passed, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. So, biggest fear, dude. What's your biggest fear?
Gosh, man. I don't really know.
Besides being on the receiving end of the choo-choo train, like where
I guess maybe going to jail as a cop. Yeah, probably going to jail as a cop just seems like a bad deal.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, yeah. I back that.
Yeah.
All right. We all have like defects of character. I have defects of character. You've seen them. You've heard them. Like I can be pretty shitty at times. But we can turn our defects into like character defects into character assets. What's a defect of your character that you could use basically for good? That you could turn into a character asset?
Oh God. You said defect, and I immediately thought of my coworker. He tells me that I put the capital P in petty sometimes.
Yeah.
Gosh, character defect that turns into I'm very defensive of people that are close to me, and to that end, like an example of that is, last year or the year before that, somebody had made some disparaging comments indirectly about people, like Jeff Little and a couple other my friends that were very close to me, and I purposely destroyed them on a YouTube video, and immediately garnered a couple phone calls from that person requesting to talk to me and texting me and asking me to talk, and I didn't, because I will burn myself down to protect people that are important to me. I don't care. I will burn myself down to protect others.
That's defense into loyalty. Like that's great, dude. That's
even Jeff told me, he's like, dude, he's like, you don't have to do this. I know, but I don't care.
But I'm gonna. Yeah, that's cool. That's a home. Like that's a true brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's,
I mean,
that's
awesome. it's a defect though. Like it's petty. Like, there's no low that I won't go to defend people that are close to me.
That's awesome. I love that.
So,
big heart, dude. You have a big heart. Don't
like
let
that.
nobody know, but you got a big
little
heart.
bit of an asshole sprinkled in there too.
Well, that's the point of having a big heart, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
It's all of it at once, you know. All right. Have you ever been broke because of fishing? Like, I got $5. Is it tacos or Cinco's? Or like my case is, oh, what's on Tackle Warehouse this week? Ooh, that was way too much. I just spent.
So, I mean, as a kid, I used to spend all my free money on fishing, but fortunately enough, whenever I got back heavily into fishing as an adult, I was already in a place financially where I never had to really worry about that. So I'm very fortunate in that sense, because I mean, you could easily go broke. This shit's expensive nowadays.
Bro, but don't even try and buy tungsten anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't anyway. Tungsten's garbage. I don't fish anything that hits the bottom.
Oh,
it's a lie. It's a lie. I do, but it's very seldom. I'm not a bottom fisherman kind of guy.
Yeah. You like me. You like to chuck and wind.
I like power fishing.
Yeah, baby.
It's all gas, no brakes, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
My spinnerbait blades rarely go under the surface of the water.
I don't have spinnerbaits. I got a box of wake baits. A wire and a jig on them.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, if anyone has made it to this point in the show, this is some fucking juice for the summertime on the Susquehanna.
Ooh.
If you want to be different than everybody else throwing a topwater bait, take a 3/8 ounce spinnerbait or a 1/4 ounce spinnerbait and reel that son of a bitch so fucking fast that those blades flutter across the top of the water, and you will elicit some of the most vicious strikes you'll ever imagine, with smallmouth just going batshit crazy over it, because there's nothing. It looks like nothing else. The closest thing to it is a buzzbait, and even a buzzbait's not the same if you use the right kind of blades. Double willow blades, silver. You're welcome.
You're the man. Thanks for the juice. I fully agree, because like the two blades, well, the one blade's kind of semi-fixed, it just goes back and forth, but the other blade spinning, it has such erratic action. A buzzbait is a consistent click,
right?
You know, like, yeah. So I get it.
It's wild.
Yeah,
it's vicious.
I'm into it. I can't. Bro, we're gonna have so much fun if I come out there. All right. What is your biggest struggle in life right now?
Finding the finding the desire to go to work whenever I know that there's something that I would rather do that's lucrative.
Yeah.
Like having the desire to not just go to work and throw it all and like, fuck off. Like, I don't need you.
Yeah. Yeah.
My buddy who's hurt, we're down a man, and they were asking us about changing our schedules and stuff to meet the manning requirements. And they asked me if I could work a day that I was supposed to be off. And I was like, no. And I was like, if you schedule me to work that day, make sure you hire overtime, because I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many people can do that at their full-time job and get away with it. But that's the struggle. That's the biggest struggle that I have on a daily basis.
Yeah, dude. That is like, I had a job for a long time where I just got up and I'm like, is there anything else I could do?
Like, I will sell pictures of my whatever,
my feet
on the internet. Like, I will put peanut butter on one foot and jelly on the other one, mash them together on video if I don't have to go do this. Like,
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I can relate to that 100%. All right.
yeah.
So in skateboarding, because that's where I come from originally, was
Mhm.
they call these things hammers. It's like giant tricks, big, like groundbreaking movements. You know what I'm saying? Like something that somebody did that nobody else has ever done before. And that's like their hammer. So in life, we can have hammers too, like major life accomplishments, like something that you can proudly, like, help with a healthy sense of pride, beat your chest and be like, dude, I did this. Like, what's your life hammer?
Man, I would not tell anyone to follow any life advice that I would give them.
But for you, it's not for everybody else. It's for you. What's
I
your life
know,
hammer?
but I can't think of anything in particular. But I can say in the fishing industry, let's just go into kayak fishing.
Okay.
Right, make it kind of minute, so it makes it easier. I was the absolute first person that put live scope on a kayak.
Really?
I would challenge anyone to find somebody else that did it before me. I had a PVC pipe on a ram ball with a ram claw, and that is how I ran my original LVS 32 on the Garmin.
Really?
Yes. To my knowledge, I was the first person to put live scope on a kayak.
Dude, that's dope. All right. Hell yeah.
Now, I could be wrong, but if anyone had live scope on a kayak prior to the summer of 2019, I would like them to speak up.
Dude, shout
And
out in
prove
the
it.
comments.
And
Yeah.
prove it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Speak up and prove it.
Let's see the photo.
Yeah.
Show me this
I-
video. I want to see it.
2019
Newspaper clipping. I want to see it.
Summer of 2019, I had a live scope on my Predator PDO.
Dude, that's dope.
And next thing I know, everybody had fucking live scope after that.
Well, you were also, I've heard this in other shows. It's controversial. You were also the first net cam man.
Oh, 100% the first net cam man. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's nobody else. So there's a company that makes a net that has a camera mount on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but I seen them at a fly fishing show of all places in Lancaster. I'm walking through this fly fishing show and I see this booth and I'm like, the fuck? Right? And I'm looking like, who in the fuck do you think you are? Right? So I walk over and I'm like, hey, what's this all about? And they're like, oh, well, you just put a net on or you put a camera. And I'm like, no, I get that. I'm like, when did you guys start doing this? And they're like, well, we came up with this idea 2 years ago. I'm like, man, fuck off. Like, I've been doing this shit since 2018.
Yeah, dude.
2 years ago. Get the fuck out of here with your 2 years ago. 2018. I had a stupid ass little camera on it. It was an original GoPro on a net. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's some of the best video. Like, I love watching
I love net cams.
Dude,
they're so much fun.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You know what?
I would rather just edit those than full YouTube videos.
My homie out here, Lyndon Kim, like he's a good homie. He lives out here. And he does a lot of bass fishing. He took the 360 cam and like put it like in, because we have a lot of largemouth, so he could fit it like in the mouth of the fish and then set it down in the water and do the let go, like the release that way. And so it looks really cool. Like he's coming up with some 360 cam footage where I'm like, this is like almost net cam status. Like I still feel like the net cam is like the best angle so far.
Yeah, the net cam's it's been a lot of fun, and I haven't seen anyone recreate it yet. I've had a lot of fun with it. It's great.
Dude, hell yeah. All right. So what's the biggest mental or emotional block for you? Like what kind of holds you up? Because I mean, okay, for backstory for people who are not, who are listening or watching and don't have police officers in their lives, like I'm going to tell you, it is a very difficult position to be in on a regular basis. You literally have to be two different people. You're one guy at work and then you're one guy at home for the most part. That's technically what I've seen, generally speaking, when it comes to police officers. So is there, besides, going to work and coming home, is there something that really like blocks you?
In this line of work, you tend to have to deal with a lot of people who are experiencing mental health or drug-related issues.
Oh, yeah.
And when, you spend a full day of dealing with a drug addict or, multiple drug addicts or mental health patients, it's real hard to turn that off.
Yeah.
And have a normal conversation after that.
Yes.
I think that there's the biggest mental block that I end up having is like the winter time, whenever I don't have that release to go fishing.
Got it. Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
so fishing's like a reset for you.
Oh,
like
it's
you get
100. It's 100%. It's soothing for the soul.
Oh yeah, I bet. I mean, okay, no one calls the cops because they're gonna have a cupcake party.
Right.
You
It's
know?
always your worst day whenever you call me.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too, because fuck firefighters, right? Because a firefighter comes to your house and it burns all the way down to the fucking foundation, and you guys take food to the firehouse and tell them thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But if I come out and I don't catch the person that robbed you, or I catch the wrong person, I'm the worst person ever.
Yeah.
But firefighters can let your house burn down. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, that's tough, dude. At least it takes a strong man to do what you're doing, dude. Like kudos to you, dude. Because I wouldn't be able to do it. Like your level of petty is like here, my level of petty, and like I have like a whole nother stack on top of that because I'm like, I'm gonna get you back. Like
body cams will keep you honest.
Oh yeah, body cams at work.
Yeah.
But like I'm like that. I'll be off work. I'll be doing something stupid.
Yeah. I mean, so some of my body cam footage is absolutely hysterical. Like I wish I could reproduce some of it and give it to you to watch. But yeah, like I saw something on Instagram a couple of days ago where there was this cop who absolutely just matched this lady's energy on a traffic stop. He's walking up and she like yells back, "Oh, why'd you pull me over?" It's because you were speeding. And she's like, "Whatever." And he's like, "Whatever." And she's like, he's like, "Let me see your registration." And he's like, she goes, "Well, I don't have it." And he's like, "Well, you're supposed to have it." She goes, "Duh." He goes, "Duh." And I'm like, that's totally me, dude. That is totally me. Like, I am that guy that, like, at one point she was talking and he goes, "Wah wah." That's totally me, dude. That's totally me.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My coworkers make fun of me all the time.
Oh, dude,
For my body cams.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're like getting replayed when you get back to the station. They're all, look at what Jake did.
Dude, so one of my buddies a couple months ago, maybe a year ago, had this guy who was threatening to spit in my face, and he was like being very threatening towards a lot of things, and then he jumps up and he tries to do it. Like he had the spit motion like in his mouth. And I instinctively reacted and I basically punched him in the face. And the sound that it made on body cam, I guess, was hysterical to my coworkers. So they recorded it, and then he made it my ringtone. So whenever I called him, all you hear is like over and over. That's his ringtone for me.
Oh, that's awesome. That's super awesome.
It's good times.
So, okay, where does fishing fit into all this now? Like, I know you're a guide. You fishing with people, constantly teaching them. Is there a day where you go out, no cameras, no nothing? And I'm not talking pre-fishing for a guide. I'm saying like you just go out and get a line wet and just enjoy your time.
Yeah,
like not testing equipment. Like
when me and my kid go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
Because then there's no pressure.
Yeah,
there's no pressure. I'll tell you one thing, dude. When you start fishing with cameras, you put pressure on yourself.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, when he and I go, like, we'll maybe take a camera, but dude, like, one of the funnest times we had on the river was recent, because with all the ice that we had this past year, a lot of trees were in my casting lanes and some of my shit. So we went out with a pole saw and fucking cut down some goddamn limbs. It was one of the funnest days we've had on the river, and we did hardly any fishing.
Dude, that's so awesome.
Yes, we're just out there. I'm sure it's probably illegal. I don't give a shit. Somebody cite me. But yeah, we totally were cutting down some trees that were overhanging into my casting lanes.
Oh, that's so dope. And your kid's just out there like, hell yeah, let's
dude,
roll.
He was having a great time. He was having a great time because he loves the pole saw. Like, people probably thought we were ridiculous out there. We're just out there cutting shit down.
Your local river service, just out here having a good time. Like,
I'm sure the river keeper's probably not happy, but whatever.
hey, dude, it happens. Dude, that's awesome, dude. That's rad. So, okay, tell us one thing that nobody knows about you, like a window into who you are.
Well, my OnlyFans is one thing that nobody knows about me. I can't say nobody knows this, but
Not common knowledge.
I didn't have a good relationship with either of my parents growing up. It was all
Really?
my grandparents, and then I kind of figured it out on my own whenever I left for the military.
Really?
I don't really tell many people that. That's none of no business.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's one thing is, I'm proud of it because I consider myself to be self-made.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of parental influence. My grandparents were well done raising kids by the time I came along.
Oh, yeah. And
So,
you're kind of in their lap all of a sudden.
yeah, the way they parented me was to give me a couple dollars to go buy fishing lures so I could go fishing. As long as I was home before dark, it was okay.
Yeah. Can I have food?
I figured it out.
Yeah, I bet, dude. Damn, that's rough. I don't want to dive into it too much because that's none of people's business. But like, do you feel that now who you are as a father and as a partner, like you've overcome that to where you're not gonna what do they call it? The cycle, feed back into the same cycle.
Yeah, my kid certainly knows that he has both parents at his disposal, and that one of them is certainly harder than the other, and that would be me.
Yeah.
But he knows that he has two people that he can rely on, and he knows not really a whole lot about my childhood growing up because he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
The only thing he needs to know is that example that I'm setting for him.
Yeah.
That way he doesn't have any other bad experience to draw from.
Yeah.
He can hopefully only get better from there if and when he ever has kids. So
Yeah,
I try not to let him have to deal with the same trauma that I had to deal with as a kid.
Yeah. They call it trauma now. We used to just call it childhood.
Yeah, we used to just call it fucking growing up.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, man. Well, I'm glad of who you are today. We have each other's phone number. We text. It's fun. Like,
yeah, I hope our texts never get leaked either.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Because
fucked.
yeah. All right. So this is the last question. It's a 3-parter. It's what do you do for your health? What do you do for hydration, diet, and what do you do for mental clarity?
Jesus. I eat like shit. So hydration, here's a I'll give you this. This is a good one. So summertime, especially like if I'm fishing or doing anything in the summertime, pickle shooters.
Oh yeah.
Pickle shooters.
My dude. Yeah.
Dude, it's what turned me on to it was I knew some roofers whenever I was a kid, and they would buy jars of pickles and then take all the pickles out. And what the fuck are you doing with all that pickle? Like, we drink it. Why? All the sodium. It helps you retain water.
Yep.
So I started doing pickle shooters whenever I was fishing tournaments and stuff, and I found myself like not getting fatigued as much and being able to retain more water, and it just helped out.
Definitely not going to ask what you did with the pickles. Just I know what you did with the juice.
No. Like they make little pickle shooters, like 5-hour energies.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, for real.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. Hold on a second.
He's gonna go get a pickle shooter, dude. Do a pickle shooter live on the show, dude. We gotta do it.
Yeah, right here we go.
Dude, Miss Mountain Olive pickled juicers. Oh,
Yeah.
That's dope.
It's my jam, bro.
Hey, I do the Element. It's basically salt, potassium. It's sodium, potassium.
If Mount Olive is trying to sponsor me,
No, just screenshot that right there.
So as far as diet, man, I am so fucked. Like I don't I don't really take care of myself a whole lot. I just fucking eat anything.
Yeah.
That's why I'm chubby. But what was the other part of it?
What do you do for mental clarity, dude? What do you do to clear your mind? Keep yourself mentally okay.
Fish. Yeah. I fish. So I like to. This is so weird because everybody makes fun of me. I have impeccable handwriting. My handwriting is like fantastic. It looks like a typewriter.
Hell yeah.
So I just like to make a list. And if I get tired of looking at that list, I make a new list.
That's awesome.
It's so weird. It's soothing to me. It helps.
That's great.
Yeah,
dude.
And I'm also a believer that if you don't write it down, it's never going to happen.
Yes, dude. Do you ever do like, people call it goals board, but I have like ideals lists. Like, this is what I want ideals for life, like relationships, business.
I don't get too in depth with the life and relationships part, but like things, yes. So like I went and specifically bought graph paper and mapped out my bathroom, mapped out all the remodels that I was doing in my house, and I did it to scale. I did a thing for my boat to scale, the things that I wanted to do with it. And then anytime I had anything that I was doing with, whether I was upgrading some things on my boat or buying some new fishing rods, like I write a list down.
Yeah.
And I if you look, I have the notepad that I keep for all my rods. I have every single rod listed and numbered and by the length, power, and model, and then I have what reel was on it and what lines on it and what it's specifically like intended to be used for. Like I'm a little bit weird.
No, that's awesome. I love that detail. I think that's great, dude.
People give me shit whenever they see it.
You risen with the tism. It's all good, dude.
The tism is strong, bro.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's a whole nother level.
Dude, I love it. I love it, dude. Dude, Jake, dude, thank you for coming on, man. Like,
man,
I really appreciate it. Yeah, man.
It's been fun.
For everybody who didn't know, like, this is the show that was never going to happen. This is like almost 3 seasons in the making. I've been bugging Jake.
Trying to do this for a long time.
Yeah. And then he sent me a picture of his actual calendar, which is also very organized.
I'm glad you said it was a calendar.
Yeah.
I sent you some pictures.
Yeah. No, so dude, and I was like, holy, no wonder like this is never happening. And he had like this one little slot. He's all, I have this one time. Do you want to do it? I'm like, done. Say less. We're on. So, dude, thanks for coming on, man. There it is, dude. That's the calendar
for April.
Oh, I mean, I got 3 kids and I own 2 businesses, and my calendar isn't that full. So that's pretty.
I have a day off on the 4th. I have a day off on the 12th, and I have a day off on the 26th. The 4th, I have a vehicle inspection appointment. The 12th, we're going up to Penn Tech for something for Jacob's school. And the 26th, I have nothing planned. Great.
Dude, until somebody calls.
No, nope. I'm just going to sit at home in my underwear all day.
Dude, hell yeah. That's when we needed to do the show.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, Jake, shout out where people can find you, dude.
And I have a website, fancy like that. It's called chocolatetownriverguide.com. Just think Hershey. I have that. And then on social media, I'm either going to be under Jake Harshman Fishing or Chocolate Town River Guide, one of the two. And if you search my name, it should bring up everything. Jake Harshman should bring up everything.
Hell yeah. Perfect.
So that's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, OnlyFans, like all that.
Foot finder or whatever it is. Grinder.
So listen, before we end this, I have a sticker on my boat that says OnlyFans casting vehicle.
Yeah. Dude, one day you're just gonna get somebody like, hey, you're like,
one day I'm gonna get some holy rolling client that's gonna be like, we're not going on your boat now.
Yeah.
Like, my bad. Sorry.
It's we enjoy our time here. Did you name your boat? Do you guys name your boats out there?
I did name my boat.
What is it called?
The Hershey squirter.
I love it, dude. Oh, yes. Thank you.
The
Thank you for
jet boat
that.
squirts out, and I live in Hershey, and it just fits.
Yeah, dude, nailed it. Well, dude, thanks for coming on, man. I'm gonna put you in the green room real quick. I'm gonna close this thing up, and
Cool.
dude, one more thing. Can you give Barb a shout out just because I know that
You know
Matt would
what?
appreciate it.
She's never going to make it to this level in the show, so we
No.
can just tell her to go and skip to the very end.
Yep.
But shout out to fucking Barb!
Yes, dude, that was my buddy Jake, dude. If you guys don't know who Jake Harshman is, please go find out, because he is one of my favorite personalities and people just in general to like just chat and have a good time with. Like, Jake is next level, great human. Like he said it, like he is solid. He backs all his dudes 100%, like loyalty to the very end. He will burn his life down for the people he loves. Like, that is awesome. And on top of that, he's just really fun to talk to. So if you are interested, hit him up. He's got that website too. If you guys want to go fish the Susquehanna, which is a world-class fishery, hit him up on Chocolate Town Guides. Like, he is there. He gave all his info right there. And other than that, I would like to leave you guys with, yes, again, a positive note for the Monday that this will be coming out.
I'm for place. And no one face. And there's no babies for a few days. And some banana trees. I got some trees. Go my dada.
Happy Monday, everybody.